perplexed by in this moment is why Pacquiao is so interested all of a sudden. Like, Pacquiao is 44 years old. The last time we saw him in the ring was in this horrendous exhibition in South Korea where he weighed 160 pounds. Like, I'm sure he's in better shape than most of us, you and I included on that. But I thought Pacquiao had the best pro boxing exit he could hope for because he lost legitimately to Yordenis Ugas. He lost in a world title fight, but he didn't get beat up. He didn't wind up face down on the canvas like a Roy Jones or like some of these other legends of the game have gone out. If Pacquiao comes back in a legitimate fight, that's where we're headed. That's why when I see Sean Gibbons, who is the closest thing to a Pacquiao spokesperson there is out there, saying, just waiting for a phone call, Eddie, just waiting to make this fight, that tells me Pacquiao is all in on getting back into the ring.
Imagine, because we're all going to be there, June, Abu Dhabi. Can you imagine how big that would be around this Conor Benn story and the comeback of Manny Pacquiao, who I don't know currently where he sits, but I mean, I did an interview with him ahead of that Yordenis Ugas fight on a Zoom. It was always a pleasure to speak to Manny. You know him well as well. I mean, even intimately, we know him. We've been around him for so long. I wonder if he's got aspirations to run for president again. He's had this political career running alongside his boxing career. What is it, 12, 13 years? Mm-hmm. So it's going to be fireworks if that comes off, and they're teasing it with that poster. Sean Gibbons retweeted the poster of those two in Abu Dhabi. There's a lot to be said for the fact he did do that because they may be testing the waters, but it's a very confusing moment. Boxing has incredible layers of nuance and obfuscation at times. And one of the big things is picking through very often for us what is information and misinformation. But it's a particularly challenging case, this one. Particularly challenging.
I don't want to see Pacquiao back. I don't. I don't need to see him keep going until someone puts him out cold. And if Conor Benn is even close to the fighter we saw before all this happened, there's a pretty good chance he hits Pacquiao with an Algieri-level shot and puts him down. I don't want to see that from Manny Pacquiao. I just don't. And
I agree.
If he needs the money, I hope not. I hope he doesn't need the money, man.
Well, remember,
he has had so many high-profile fights.
Yeah. But
so many, Gareth.
We always said this about Manny, and people around him always said it. He may well end up needing money because there's no welfare state in the Philippines, but there is a welfare state when it comes to Manny Pacquiao because they used to queue in their thousands outside his place in General Santos City, wasn't it? And he would just give people, say yes, no. I remember speaking to the commercial, his commercial arm, when I can't remember her name now, who worked for Bob Arum at Top Rank, and she said there were so many. I forget her name. She was a lawyer who worked for him, and I remember the clearing up of companies that carried his name, where he just said, "Yeah, take my name," because they were trying to create his commercial and image rights in the right way. But there was so much out there, cans of this and dog food that, and I'm making this up, but there was so because that's what he did. He said, "Yeah, use my name, do this," So I mean, he's a brilliant fellow, but I agree with you. He's we've just had Floyd Mayweather fighting over here against Aaron Chalmers a couple of weekends ago, and there wasn't really it wasn't overly promoted either. There weren't enough people there to see Floyd Mayweather in his first fight in the UK as an exhibition bout, I hasten to add, but it should have sold out the O2 Arena with the amount of fans there are for Floyd Mayweather, but it actually didn't.
Yeah, I was reading about the low numbers, low turnout for that fight. For Pacquiao, though, keep doing dumb exhibitions if you want to make a couple of bucks. Find foreign countries that'll pay you to fight MMA stars or pop stars or YouTubers, whatever, but do not get back in there